So I'm gonna get this one. This is the third episode. I call this one "Good Vibes." Calling me back because the build was so positive, and it's like I got called right back. We ain't done with this shit. No, we got some more talking to do to the people. This shit is it's too constructive to quit right now. Like I would normally be done, but the energy is building too good to bag out now. Uh, uh, so we just gonna keep talking to the people for another hour. And hey, I ain't in no hurry. Hey, beloved.
Hey, love, it's me again with the black book.
Yeah, tell them where you calling from.
Well, I mean, I'm in Atlanta, but I'm from Virginia.
Okay. ATL,
Yeah,
33rd parallel.
period. Okay, so I'm opening up the black book. I just got a couple of questions because I know you got a long line.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you was talking about the Moors, it's like the Moors was like, why are we? Okay, are we the feathers and they the fezes? Why do people claim to be Moors?
Cause in the Conjure War, we
Mm-hmm.
had to take their fezzes by education and learning while we had amnesia. So
Mm-hmm.
when the challenge is to put us together, we not supposed to be intelligent enough to overcome their position as fez wearing masters from the east.
Mm-hmm.
We are feather wearing, nature living people.
Mm-hmm.
We and they thought that we were backward savages
Mm-hmm.
because they called us insects. They said we act like bees and ants because we surround Big Mama, the queen. They said that we was parasites, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they called us a parasite because we live with and for each other into harmony. And
Right.
they said that we was acting like parasites, but that was because they was coming with a parasitic agenda,
Right.
right? So we have to win affairs, and they have to win our feathers. They win the feathers when they are confronted in a challenge. So if I ask a more question about the more science and he can't answer it more than I can,
Mm-hmm.
I just took his fez in the Conjure War, right?
Okay.
Now, once I'm really good and I can take four fezzes, then I'll have the title L Bay or Bay L behind my name.
Oh.
If I can take, if they can come over and take four chief's feathers, then they will have the Ali behind their name. And only way for one of us, the feather wearers, to get the title of an Ali, we have to be directly confronted by Ali. We
Mm.
can't, they can get an Ali from L by winning our feathers. We can win the Fez and get the L Bay or the Bay L, but we can't get the Ali unless because the Ali is the master of masters.
Right.
So if you're a feather wearing motherfucker, you can't be an Ali unless you was face to face with a Ali, a grandmaster in a system.
So it's
So
all okay. Go ahead.
we call our feather wearing fez wearers righteous Moors.
Okay.
And we call the ones who came with the challenge the dirty Moors. But this is
Mm.
because the character of the people that's playing is distinctly different. The dirty Moors feel like they better than everybody else and that they can keep humans as pets.
Mm.
The righteous Moors believe that ain't no big eyes and no little U's. I ain't better than you, and you sure in the fuck ain't no better than me. Right?
Oh. Mm-hmm.
And our ranking system for us is most loved, most respected. Their ranking system is based off most feared and most it's not like it's not like true respect, but it's
Right.
most theirs is most feared, most respected. Ours is most loved, most respected. So that's the way, and they behave according to the instilling of fear in you of them,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now, they use a proxy for you to fear so they can stand next to you and you don't know they there.
Mm.
And that was the great cover. That's why we always got undermined because they were standing next to us. They knew who we were,
But we didn't know who they was.
but we didn't know who they were. So they was using the pale faces to keep us from the institutions that would give us enough information to figure out who they were. So
Right.
what we had to do in response was overrun a institutions with friendly pale faces that would put the secrets in the public so the chiefs can find out what happened.
And you call
This
them the friendly faces, friendly pair of faces because they was with us.
they
Or
came over to go in the places that our dark faces couldn't go
mm-hmm.
and tell us what they were doing in secret. They was working for us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they came over and the Great Migration on Ellis Island in New York. So it was two sides of the same coin
Mm-hmm.
with the pale faces that blocked us out of the institutions and the black faces that betrayed our attempts to overtake the institution by
Right.
force. And the masquerading of the government is where they got us at.
Yep.
Because we was putting our faith and trust in the government that was never more than a slave trading company that had went national.
No, we ain't know it.
And we didn't know it. And they used something called meritorious manumission as the justification to allow us to roam our own free land. They knew they couldn't stop us from traveling the land because that's what we do. So they grant us meritorious manumission. So it'll look like because we travel in the land, whether they want us to or not, we
Mm-hmm.
complying with their order so that when our children come along, our children feel that they should comply to their order because my mama did. My
Just like
daddy did. Right.
right.
So it's all part of the morals and dogma in the Protocols of Zion blueprint.
By Albert Pike.
Yeah.
So he the
The,
reason.
proto- the
Mm-hmm.
Protocols is written by a group of anonymous dirty Moors. The whole Nicene Council that assembled the Christian church was assembled by Constantine. It was a military development of a control system to run government.
Wow. Wow.
And it's all in the books. It's not a secret. Ain't none of the shit I'm saying a secret.
Right.
It's just that none of us was educated to the level to put all of the pieces together.
But I don't understand how we was not educated. If we were here first, we were so mighty, we were so advanced.
They killed off our elders that knew how to defend us.
Mm.
They murdered them. That's called the Pope's most vile and bloody oath. Kill the kings, the princes, and the people of the land. Anybody that was developing enough intelligence to tell us what happened, they murder them.
Like the Malcolm X's, the
Malcolm X, Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King was fine until he talked to Elijah Muhammad and got the truth and found out that he was being handled by handlers. No, now he ain't the kind go along to get along Negro because he know the truth now. He can't perform the same as he did when he didn't know the truth. So now they got to murder him. His handlers got to set him up to get murdered. It all came out in the lawsuit filed by his family against the government for wrongful death. Dick Gregory did a whole lecture on it so that he explained it to you what was taking place.
and a lot of people don't know it. Like a lot of
Yeah.
people think that he got shot and he died. A lot of people don't know he died in the hospital where somebody killed, where they went in there and killed him. But I was telling my family members just 2 years ago, and they were like, "Girl, you gone crazy." And I was like, "Y'all can look it up." They thinking that he died when he got shot. People so lost, man. People so okay. Last thing. Okay, so damn. Okay, the totem animal. I did what you said, and I asked the ancestors, and then I had a dream of a black dog. But you told me that dogs was, I ain't gonna say dogs not man-made, but dogs is not natural, right?
Who told you that?
No, I thought you said dogs was
Dogs is assigned to the people who's walk alone in life because for companionship. That's the purpose of the domestic dog.
Okay. Okay. And then
The
the last
black dog is the symbol for Anpu.
and
So if
cool.
that's your totem animal, then Anubis is is your guardian saint for your bloodline, for your family. If you learn much as you can about him in order to allow the energy to protect you as best as possible and he open doors for you. Anpu is a very strong ancestor. And when you the more that you study him, the more that energy becomes that power. You'll feel it. One day you might just get up and be like, feel that shit. Because Anubis ain't no joke.
Yeah, it
Very,
was. Yeah,
that's very strong God energy.
yeah, like it scared me when I asked for. I was like, "Can you please show me what my totem animal is?" And then I had a dream somebody was holding a dog, and the dog was looking at me, and then he like latched on to me, and so they pried his hands off, and he looked at me like, "I'm not gonna bite you. You asked who I was. I'm showing you." And then the dog didn't bite me, and he was just looking at me like, "I'm here. You asked for me." And then when I woke up, and then it came to me, I was like, "I did ask." Oh, it blew me. But I was like, but I thought a dog was.
Also, your familiar is your pet. In your energy field, that dog, if whatever breed it is, if you want him to walk with you in the real life, you get a puppy that's that breed.
Yeah, it looked like a Rottweiler. It was all black, and I think it had like a little bit of brown. So yeah, that's a Rottweiler, right?
It's possible. The same black and tan is the Doberman is that color too. And you you also have pit bulls that's closer to that build, but they come in those colors too.
Okay. Last thing. You told me all that. Okay. The 48 chromosomes. I remember you were saying something about the chromosomes. You were saying, then what was you saying about them chromosomes? And you were just talking about it too. But I was like, what did you? I think you said 47 chromosomes. How many
47 is Down syndrome.
Right. So it's 40. You said 47. So what's 48? I think that's what I had the question. The 48 chromosomes.
Supposed to be 46, 23 from the mother, 23 from the father.
So ain't no such thing as 48. So I can
If
scratch
it's
that.
48, it's a birth defect. It's an abnormality. Just like Down syndrome is an abnormality.
Okay, birth
But
defect.
there's a species of extraterrestrial that genetic um, anomaly comes from.
Mm,
And they look more like Mongolians. But the defect a lot sometimes can cause, it's because of certain proteins. You can have a child with Down syndrome that's a genius.
right.
If the woman that's pregnant knows she's having a child with Down syndrome, she needs to drink a large cup of moringa tea every morning for her pregnancy, because she'll turn the genius on that comes with that extra chromosome. Some women are not going to abort a child because they have Down syndrome.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Right. So if you don't want a Down syndrome child that has to be taken care of their entire life and can't be self-sufficient, then don't do nothing. Do what them doctors tell you. But if you know they're going to have Down syndrome, the moringa tea is going to keep the key proteins in the central nervous system from diminishing the intellect, right? And it's going to keep them from being, so they will be functional to take care of themselves, but they might, instead of being able to take care of themselves at 18, they might be 30 before they can go out and pay their own bills and make their own money.
Yeah.
But they're going to do it more um, clean, more deliberate than a regular person too, because
Right.
they're gonna be taught to it a certain way, and they're not gonna deviate from it. And
Right.
then when somebody, this is what keeps them safer in the society as a handicapped person, because they'll make such a stink about you changing
Mm-hmm.
how they know how to do something, that it'll make the other regular people stand up for them.
Yeah.
So that's
It's
how you,
what.
right. So they learning how to use the society to their benefit
Right.
by behaving with a certain character. So once they get it, that regimented order that they have to pay their bills
Mm-hmm.
and schedule their meals and their baths on their own, anybody that tries to interfere with that, they're gonna make such a stink that they're gonna get caught. Because anybody that's trying to interfere with that, instead of assisting, is trying to take advantage of them.
Mm-hmm.
So the way that they are is a natural alarm system to tell the regular people to keep this predator away from them.
So it's probably it's all actuality. It's good to have somebody like that around there.
Yeah, well, we looking at the way they are. It's
Right.
like a Rain Man with the numbers, right? In the movie Rain Man, Tom Cruise dropped a box of matches, and when they hit the ground, the sound gave him enough information to count exactly how many matches hit the ground,
Mm. Yeah, yeah.
right? But as long as Tom Cruise did certain stuff, the Rain Man didn't give him problems. But soon as he started doing other than what Rain Man understood, he make a fuss, and now other people are intervening. What's
Right.
going on?
Right.
That's mainly how the story was playing out, because that's the way that nature teaches certain abnormalities how to defend itself and how to use the society to its advantage.
That makes sense.
So instead
That
of
makes
instead of trying to give the developing Down syndrome medals, because they're gonna try to give you iron pills,
mm,
ferrous sulfate. You need the moringa because it's phytonutrients. Then the metals are going to cause the problem because of the missing phytonutrients. That's why you give them a cup of moringa tea every morning, because
mm-hmm.
all of those nutritional things on the nutritional scale,
Yeah.
it's maximizing the greatest possible benefit the fetus can have for development, no matter what the current condition of it is. In this case, there's an extra chromosome. So you don't want the chromosome to be a handicap.
Mm-hmm.
So you make sure that your nutrients is at optimum capacity. Moringa is so nutrient dense that a person that's on his deathbed for malnutrition they use the moringa to bring them back to health.
I drink it every morning. I get it from the whole, not the Whole Foods, the African, the
Oh
international.
yeah.
Yeah, the Africa, yeah. And I drink moringa every morning. But I just now found out about it when you was talking about it one day, and I went and got it and I read the benefits. I was like, why we didn't know about this? It's just so crazy. And
How
okay,
did it make you feel once you started taking it?
energized. Um, I got an appetite now. And it just, to me, I got 4 boys. I keep saying it, but it's just like energized because I always be having to take energy pills and stuff like that. It's like I have more energy and just like, I don't know, I'm more happier. I don't know. It's like it's so crazy, but it's like a mood enhancer too.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, like,
Okay, so
being
look at this. When you are deficient in a nutrient, your body is sending stress hormones for you to fix the problem. Those stress hormones, they call them stressors,
mm-hmm.
chemical stressors. Primarily, it's cortisol, neuroepinephrine, and a couple of other chemicals. This makes you become agitated easily,
Mm-hmm.
irritable. So when you get your nutrients balanced, your body's not sending these chemicals out in
Right.
distress. So now you can be more present while you're present.
Exactly. It make a lot of sense. All right, babe. And yeah, that's it. And it about the Orishas, like if I'm spiritual, to me, I just feel like the Orishas, Oshun and all of them, it's still a belief, you know, or I'm
No,
looking at
you're looking
it's
at it
still
all wrong.
you
The,
worshiping
those
something
are ancestral energies that's active in your DNA that you need to learn about in order to have control of your spiritual self.
with these people out here in Georgia, they doing it wrong. They worshiping these people and sacrificing chickens and stuff like that. It just turned me away from. I was like, I'm EFAT. I'm EFAT. It's like a game. I'm EFAT. I'm EFAT. I'm like, baby, y'all can have EFAT. I don't know
Hey,
what EFAT,
look,
but I just found out about it in
look,
Georgia. Came here.
look. You talking about them sacrificing chickens, but then nobody talking about these Christians. They eat Jesus every year. They eat Jesus and drink his blood in a mock ceremony every couple of months. They call it a Eucharist,
Oh.
right? It's no communion.
Yeah, that's why I said the communion with the bread and the wine,
Communion,
grapefruit juice. Supposed
right?
to be mine, his blood.
Yeah. Energetically speaking, they might as well eat the motherfucker for real.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we can't look down on them for sacrificing the chicken if we ain't ready to deal with eating Jesus.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. They just put a bad taste in my mouth. So I guess I gotta do research on them. It's just like, it feels like they worshiping
Now
something.
listen, all of the priesthoods have been infiltrated by rogue elements that's misusing the practice of the priesthood. The same way that these Christian prosperity preachers with these churches big as football stadiums,
Mm-hmm.
collecting offerings, sending garbage cans around to fill up with money every Sunday.
Helicopters.
This
All
is
that.
a corruption in the priesthood. It don't got nothing to do with the people. The people are being misled, but
Yeah.
the people that's misleading them is working from the corruption in the priesthood. So you're supposed to have a bad taste in your mouth if you sense the corruption anywhere, not just with the Ife, not just with the Obe, not just with the Gullah, not just with the Santeria.
Mm.
Jesus, Muhammad, and motherfucking Abraham punk ass too.
Yeah, but they talking about they E5, but they still worship like, thank you, Jesus. They still believe Jesus. I ain't know that. So I'm
Look,
confused. That's I
because
say
they
I got.
used to use it. That's Santeria. We used to use the church to conceal the Vadum. Somewhere along the way, the indoctrination of the church ousted the Vadum.
Mm,
A lot of the church practices you see in modern day churches that we have, if you
mm-hmm,
wanted to know the difference, look at a Catholic church. You see the difference.
mm,
These people, a lot of these people is fake practitioners anyway.
mm-hmm.
Just like most of these Christians and Mohammedans and motherfucking Hebrews is hypocrites too.
Yeah, yeah,
So once we realize that the whole thing is judge not that ye may not be judged, but for the same measure by which you judge, by that measure also shall you be judged.
right.
In other words, don't condemn nobody because you don't know what they went through that's keeping them locked in that position. You just know it's not for you and you move on and you do the best you can do.
Facts.
So the voodoo ain't above being breached by rogue priests. It's the people who understand it that's going to eventually drag the rogue priest out into the public domain as the frauds they are.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't care what they use as the underlying method of teaching or preaching or conning.
Mm-hmm.
They gonna all get drug out when the people realize that the priesthoods have been corrupted, and the best way to tell is they telling you the truth or is they telling you the script?
That part. That part. All right, King. It's getting late, and I know you got a whole list. I appreciate you, and I'm gonna get back on your live and continue to follow you, baby.
All right, sweetie. I'll
All
talk
right.
to you later.
Okay.
Oh man, I appreciate you getting me back on, man.
You was in the middle of a sentence when they cut you off last time. I wanted to hear what you was talking about. You was shit. You had my full attention, and then that bitch blinked out on me.
Well, man, I hope you like this question. But yeah, I was trying to understand time. again, I created Lineage to get us to start reading some books. It's still hard to get us to read books, but give us the beginning of the Earth. How did everything spin off? I know you had mentioned there was only women on the planet, so I'm just intrigued to hear what you know and how we came to be. Like, what's that whole process look like? If you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, so Earth at first, Earth has always been a resort location.
Okay.
And the hospitality of Earth became legendary because of the Earth Angels. That's what they used to refer to the women. In modern terminology, the best way to translate it is Earth Angel.
Like the song Earth Angel.
Yeah.
Earth Angel. Because I know you bring it back to music sometimes. I went ahead and did it for you this time.
Right,
Go
because
ahead.
the music helps to understand the concept better.
Yeah.
Because when you put it to the song helps you retain the information.
Right. Right.
Because it's on the pattern, it's on the beat, it's on the harmony and the frequency that you can gig with.
Right.
But anyway, Earth was where people was coming to learn what's known as the mystic arts. The women were instructors in the mystic arts.
Okay.
But the women, they didn't stay incarnated in physical form. But the different species of trainees, they would come in and they would take on a form.
Okay.
For the purposes, the women could go to higher densities and then they can come to the 3D and materialize.
So how far could they go? 6, 7?
No, they can at least go to 21 dimensions straight up.
21?
Yeah, but they normally stop at 13.
How many dimensions are there?
Infinite.
Infinite? Oh, damn.
We at the lowest vibrational point
right.
in the hologram of the convergence.
Mm-hmm.
We are where the rays of light actually meet the wall.
Okay. Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So when we talk about the first dimension, remember, writing is a 2-dimensional art.
2D. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And a dot is 1D.
Mm-hmm.
Right. As soon as you make any movement from the central point of the dot, you move into 2D.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So when you in the physical world, you in the 3D. Now the hologram is moving from a flat surface to the upright.
Right. Okay. Yep.
Okay. Now the chess pieces can be moved around from looking at it on the level.
Mm-hmm.
And the level is a Masonic tool for the construction of the temple.
Okay.
Okay, now, when these women would materialize in the 3D,
mm-hmm.
they discovered the training method was to take what's 4th dimensional, express it 2-dimensional, and then it plays out 3-dimensionally.
In 3D. Oh, okay. That's deep.
So you leveraging the hologram off of the backdrop. The backdrop is the walls of the uterus of Big Mama.
All right.
Right. So now when the women would go to the 13th dimension, that's where they are all infinite spirit beings.
Right.
Right. And the ego is a side effect of being in the 3D. You don't have an ego in your dream. In your dream, everything you do is selfless.
Yeah.
But when you're in the physical world, you do selfish shit.
You do selfish shit all the time. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So you're trying to learn how to teach yourself to become the person in the dream. That's 4D.
Yeah, 4th dimension. Okay.
So the trick is to create a grimoire. What is the grimoire for? It's to take the 4D lessons, put them into 2D, so that you become what you learn in 3D.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
So
deep.
at 13th dimension, that's called Big Mama's house.
Okay.
From the 13th zodiac seat, we learn what Big Mama orders is from Big Mama house.
Okay.
So the women at this point, they had no need for a consort because they weren't stuck in 3D.
Mm-hmm.
So when the first major wars of the Earth Chronicle, Earth was fighting the Andromeda beings because they were matriarchal, but they were a different kind of matriarch than we are.
All right, quick question. So it was only women having to fight these Andromeda beings
Right.
at that time? Okay,
And
and were
the
they fighting?
Andromeda beings came from a what's called a duality dimension where they
Golly.
had gender. The law of
Okay,
gender wasn't applied on Earth yet.
and that's the seventh Hermetic principle.
The law of gender, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so this is what was called the gender contract. You hear me talking about it. I even did a video on the gender
I
contract.
do remember. Yep.
Right. So the women fighting the Andromeda beings was losing in a strength competition to the males from the Andromeda strain.
Okay.
Right. So the women formed a council on Earth and asked Big Mama, can they produce men as protectors from the other dimension? So this is how duality, gender, the law of gender, becomes implemented on Earth.
Oh shit. All right. So I felt like I was uh oh, okay, go ahead. Keep going, man. You're blowing my mind right now. Felt
Okay,
like
so
young
now,
when I said that. Oh shit, right?
right. So this is why I say that every closing of the age, homosexuality is rampant because the gender contract is being challenged.
Oh wow.
If the women determine that the men have outserved their purpose, they will erase our ass. They'll stop producing male children.
Yeah, there's a lot of us out here fucking up. I can tell you that. They might mess around and try it. I don't know. Good night.
If
Go ahead.
hey, look, if one of us bump straight, they might let us stay.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm trying to be the straightest straight bump I can bump when I bump straight.
Me too, man. Me too.
You know.
Yep. I'm
So
sorry. You up? Keep
the
going. Yep.
the challenge to the gender contract, if the women determine that there's no sense of having men if the men gonna only love men.
Mm.
It's a waste. We can just go back to having women,
Yep.
right? So the gay guys are converts by the ones who's trying to get us to break the gender contract.
Wow.
And this is why the power is so great with the elemental Q community.
Hmm. What the elemental Q? I don't understand.
Whatever the fuck they is, like some
Oh.
alphabet.
All right, all right. I understand what you mean then now. I got you. Okay.
Right. So they are strategically placed there as a military application to compel the woman to oust man from the earth so they can backdoor them with the dragon bitches
Okay.
and replace the women's rulership with drag queens.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
But it's
man.
not
Earth.
gonna work.
No, it's not gonna work. So, so you left off with women were gonna try to get men because they were dying, I guess. So, what's that story look like?
Well, it looked like
Dig.
Sanaya Latham joining forces with the Predator in order to
Okay.
fight Alien.
Okay. All right.
Right. So that's the repeat of the story.
Okay.
There was the women they was hunting.
Mm-hmm.
Sanaya Latham represents Kalima,
Kalima Anan.
the great warrior spirit of the sister of the Shakti energy.
Yep. Yep. I just started reading MP Blavatsky and starting to get into some of that Shakti stuff. Like I've heard you say it several times, and then Rob was like, none of us are gonna read this book. And I said, damn it, I'm gonna read this book. And now I'm starting to learn a little bit about the Shakti stuff. Yeah. Go ahead, man.
But generally speaking, we wasn't gonna read none of that shit.
No, I mean I didn't know about it, man. I love reading.
Yeah. But remember how many of us don't want to read.
Yeah. Yeah. Kyrie, right? He was a great interview. He said, I always wondered why they said if you don't want black people to read, put it into a book. I mean, want black people to know anything, put it into a book. And it's pretty prevalent, you know. Like I said, Lineage was about getting people to read. I just started saying, forget it. Let me just post stuff because it's a little bit more effective to get people to understand in 30 seconds, a minute, 3 minutes, whatever, you know. It's unfortunate, but we're getting there, though. We're waking up.
Oh, man. It's to me right now where the reach that the information I put out in the public domain has had, and the impact is kind of making me nervous. But it's not making me nervous as in a fearful way.
Okay.
It's more like a holy shit, I done set this bitch off for real.
Yeah, you did set it off.
These niggas gonna stand up? Because if they do, these motherfuckers in trouble. These imposters about to get the business.
Yeah,
and then
man.
I started to see people that's talking to somebody like Kanye,
Mm-hmm.
and he's dragging out the motherfuckers. And when it looked like he's dragging out pale faces, they backing up, talking about, wait a minute, we ain't the ones.
He's like, hold on.
It's them niggas over there he's standing right there next to you, that nigga.
Yep. Gotta be careful. That's nigga,
why
right?
The commissioner of the NBA was like, Kyrie ain't anti-Semitic. He know who them niggas is.
When you first said that, man, I was like, it makes so much sense. And I started seeing the people in my life that I was like, these are definitely some Enlil's children. Like every time they came around, it was negativity or a fight or something else. It just always kept us down, always brought the vibration down, bro. I was like, how, bro? Yeah, man, it's some real stuff, man. I'm ready to bring everybody out, though. You know, every single evil motherfucker on the planet. I'm ready to get rid of them, man. However I can do it in my form.
I just hope motherfuckers don't ask me for some shit called compassion.
Yeah, I know, man.
Because they got the same amount of compassion from me coming that they gave to my people when they was doing that bullshit to them and lying to them, misleading them and trying to steal their shit. So I got the same amount of compassion. I'm just matching energy with them motherfuckers.
That's right, man.
I'm just gonna treat them the way they treated us, and it's not personal. It's just family business.
I live with my heart, man. But you know, like you say, I'm with the shit. Some people got to get the shits. You know, our kids are getting taken all the time. Our women are being raped. Our men are in jail. This is some bullshit. Yeah, look, I got no compassion.
I found this from living life. I can't deal with the people I love the same way I deal with the sociopath that came to kill us.
Yeah.
I have to put people in their proper category and treat them accordingly in order to not mistreat anybody who don't deserve mistreatment.
That's right, man.
If the motherfucker that came to kill me get murdered, right? If he came to kill me and he get murdered, I can't feel bad for him.
Not at all, man. No, hell no. I don't care what they want to tell us to do. Be nice? Hell no, bro. You deserve that shit. You
My
deserve.
mama told me a long time ago, I'm in the position to write, I can't lose.
Mm-hmm.
And ever since I've been in the position to write, every fight I win that motherfucker.
Yep.
I come out on top.
Not on top. Yep.
Right?
To change the subject a little bit, shadow work, man. You know, what's some things that we could be doing right now in a shadow work aspect that you feel gets results faster? You know, got a lot of people asking me what I could do or what we could do, and I know you did
Okay,
one.
it's the
So
easiest starter kit for anybody starting, because once you do this method, it's going to make you automatically do your shadow work till you done.
all right.
Whenever you see a motherfucker and you say to yourself, I can't stand that motherfucker always doing, make sure that you don't do that. Whatever it is that make you not like them,
Yeah.
ask yourself the question using the science of self-talk.
Yeah. All right.
Right? I found out a long time ago, I used to hate for motherfuckers that when you ask them something, they don't answer you.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought about it. When motherfuckers ask me for the question and I know they're not gonna receive the right answer, I won't answer them.
Yeah.
And so I had to stop being angry at people that I ask shit that don't answer. As
Gotcha.
soon as I did that, now I don't run across those people anymore.
Yeah, you don't even attract the energy anymore, huh?
Nope, that energy is out of
Yeah.
out of my lane.
Got you. Yeah, I remember one time you talked about doing the mirror work where you look at somebody and see that person in the mirror. You want to know who I picked? I picked Enlil's bitch ass. That video that you showed where he is walking around in Africa, you know, light skin and supposedly doing these miracles while this other woman is over here whipping these people, crazy as shit. And you know, I have, you know, went through some trials and tribulations, recently divorced. It's, you know, it's been about a year. And you know, I tried different things, but when I heard you say that, man, I looked that mug in the face, and first thing I said, if I get the opportunity one day, I'm gonna beat your ass. It might be several centuries from now, but I'm powerful and I'm coming. But I looked at him, and that's when I started doing that shadow work, that mirror work. So I appreciate it, man, because after that day, I know for a fact I'm a much better person, way
You
better
know,
person.
you being recently divorced, your greatest accomplishment is to be able to develop a functional communication with your ex-wife.
Yeah, we're there finally. Yeah.
Yeah. Because once you do that, that's the level of maturity you need to be for the benefit of the children.
Yeah, it was tough, man. You know, I wasn't the one that wanted or anything like that, so it was never negative. But it was hard to be around her.
Yeah.
And now, you know, it's, you know, hey, how you doing? We're smiling, and you know, I've moved on, and she's happy, which is great. I'm happy, which is amazing. But yeah, it came with that mirror work, man. You know, a lot of people don't like using the mirror, but you know, finding the opposite of you and somebody, you know, I had one guy say, I don't like anybody. I was like, there's somebody. I went intergalactic on mine, but there's somebody out there.
So here's one for the children.
Okay.
Since we're on the
Yeah.
topic. Whenever you read a story to a child, whoever the hero is in the story, tell them that's the role they playing.
Okay.
This is a self-confidence building exercises from parent to child. Every story if he read the Bible, he Jesus.
All right.
Right? If he reads Superman, he's Superman.
Yeah.
Right? If he read Aquaman, he Aquaman.
He's Aquaman. Yep.
And tell them to always be the hero in every story they read so they can be their own hero in their own life.
Yeah, that's deep, man. Yeah.
Stop. We teaching them they can be the bus boy. They can be the maid.
Yeah.
They can be the one to clean the shit up out the stables.
Yeah.
I did all that shit so my son don't have to.
Yeah.
right? So now
Yeah.
that I know the secrets to how to build their self-esteem, I can give those secrets to the children. I could tell the
Hmm.
rest of the clans this is how we start building the self-esteem to overcome the post-traumatic slave disorder.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
You said something one time. I'd love for you to let the people on the live hear it. But you were talking about something that you did with your son, like that routine that you have with your son. If you could tell that story, because I actually told it to one of my my female friends, and she does it with her son now. But you can do it a lot better because you know I don't have a young kid, but it was huge for her and
Yeah,
her
so
son.
when I used to get my son a bath, ever since he can talk, I gave him a mantra. In the mantra, when he get out the tub, while I'm drying him off, we say it together. I look good. I said, my name is Jeremy. I look good. I
I
smell
feel
good. I feel good. I do good. I be good because I am good.
damn good. Yeah.
And he got to the point where I say, now say your stuff, and I'll be drying him off, and he'd go through
Mm-hmm.
it by himself, and I was like, you got it.
Yep.
If I
Yep.
don't give
That's
him nothing
beautiful.
else, that's gonna take him through any obstacles that come in the way.
Yep. Yeah, that really resonated with me. I remember the feeling too. I kind of got chills. You know, I got two boys. One's 14 and one's 18. And unfortunately, I grew up, you know, or we grew up together while we were in the Matrix, you know, and I didn't have my awakening until late. So my 18-year-old is not really feeling all this. And my 14-year-old, we're over here learning about, you know, space time and time space. You know, he's kind of in that mix where he's starting to realize he has some power. We have some power as a people. We have some power, and he's really starting to believe it. My 18-year-old's on the other side. So I had a buddy of mine, Native American couple, man, a beautiful. Let me tell you this crazy story, man. I was on that ship, so I went with Billy Carson to Egypt, and there was this Native American couple that were on this ship, and beautiful couple, man, beautiful couple. And they were sitting there and they were like, do you know there's so many millions of us Native Americans that have been getting killed by the government? And I looked at them, I'm like, hundreds of millions, because we're the Native Americans too. And they didn't take no offense to it. They pulled out their cell phones, Rod, no cap. Grandfather, black as us, grandmother, black as us. And they were like, absolutely. And I said, one of my master teachers, it's you and Billy, but my master teacher, Rod Hayes, told me about some lady named Mama Bear. And I haven't looked up the video, but we're going to check it out soon. No joke, Rod, you posted it the next day, that Mama Bear video. So I went and I went and I was looking for them. And I found the lady. Her name is Melanie. And we went downstairs and we watched the Mama Bear video, and we had such a touching moment, you know, because she understood everything that's happened to us as a people, especially when Mama Bear said, we gotta, I'm ad-libbing. I don't remember exactly what she said, but she was like, we gotta love our black people because they pretty much sacrificed themselves for us.
That
They
was
knew
the
that they were
Khaki
the
War.
strongest people on the planet. And they went and did this so we can continue these traditions. So we got to stop bullshitting and start helping with these folks. You know what I'm saying? It was such a touching moment on that ship, man. It was, you know, and I told her, I was like, I've been looking for my tribe. I've been looking for my family, and I found it right here, man. So I was like, Rod done showed up. I vibrated somehow into Rod's mind because that moment had to happen. There were so many people around because it's hard to conceptualize for some people that we're the organic people, you know what I'm saying? And they had no problem with saying, yep, you're right. Just started pulling out all these family photos, man. So we definitely got to go back, do our history, find ourselves, because, man, every single one of y'all, man, y'all got such a deep history, a deep background. Some of it's in Mississippi, some of it's in California, some of it's in Mesoamerica. But Rod, man, it was crazy, man. I just brought her up the day before and you posted that video. I was like, it was meant to happen, bro. It was so crazy.
Oh yeah. So those are what you call moving to the singularity,
Okay.
convergences. And the more
moving to the
convergences
singularity.
we see, yeah, the more convergences we see, the singularity is getting enough of our people to realize the takeover that's in full effect.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, man. Hermetics versus metaphysics. What's your take?
Hermetics is metaphysics.
So when I was reading the Kabbalion, they mentioned Hermetics wasn't the same as metaphysics because damn, what the hell did they say? Well, shit, I'll leave that to you. I mean, that's what you know what's up.
So meta, right, means a unit of information.
Mm-hmm.
Physics is in reference to the physical construct.
Mm-hmm.
The 7 Hermetic principles govern the physical construct.
Right. Right.
Right? That's metaphysics. Those
Okay.
are
All
the
right.
bytes of information that govern the physical reality.
All right.
Right? So the geometric structure of the hologram is Metatron's cube.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Right? That's the energy signature of the grid. Right? It's Metatron's cube.
Mm-hmm.
Metatron's cube is called the star of life. When you activate Metatron's cube, you activate the Merkaba.
Okay.
Merkaba means spirit, body, ship.
Right.
Right? And it comes from 3 Kemetic words. Mir, which means the ship. Ka, which is the body.
Body.
And Ba, which is the soul.
Soul. Yeah.
Right? So the Merkaba is your heart chakra being activated by the upward rising pyramid and the downward pointing pyramid becoming Metatron's cube in the heart chakra.
Yeah.
The visualization for the meditation is to see Metatron's cube in a blue heart-shaped orbit, spinning around in your heart center.
Okay.
And this is driving the energy through Metatron's cube in your heart.
All right. Yeah. Astral projection. Can you Hathor's temple? So I had this this astral projection, right? It was crazy. I was reading the lost civilizations of Atlantis, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to astral project to Atlantis. So I start, doing my thing. I end up in water. There's this dude next to me, right? And he opens this gate. I walk up this gate and I end up in this really beautiful palace looking thing. And there's these walls and different things like these huge columns. The floor was this beautiful blue and grayish color. And I look over and these huge people, they were like 10 foot tall, huge, beautiful people. And one of them starts walking towards me and I kind of get startled and I come back. Well, I go on this trip to Egypt and we end up at Hathor's temple. It was Hathor's temple. Do you know anything about Hathor's temple? Because I felt like that was way further back in time than what I saw on Wikipedia or some shit saying it was built around or started being built around 1800 BC. But so I didn't feel like that.
They changed all of the dates.
Okay.
By giving us what's called New Kingdom Egypt and Old Kingdom Egypt.
Oh shit.
In the most of what's over there is approximately 30,000 years old.
Even the Hathor's temple, huh?
The whole Tamaray, the 3 cities, was replicas of 3 cities over here.
I believe that. Yep.
So those three cities is Heliopolis is the city of the sun. That's Los Angeles.
Okay.
Then you have